arc welder's a mess, though.
Ever look on your shelves and find these half-full bottles and cans of stuff, like paint thinner and bug spray? And this mystery bottle. Don't just toss these in the trash. Their disposal requires special care. That's because their poisons can find their way from your landfill into our groundwater. Pick up this brochure and learn more about household hazardous wastes. Retailers are required to have this pamphlet wherever these products are sold.
Live from Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Des Moines. And what a great halftime show. George Turner.
To call your attention to Section 16 in the North Balcony, I'd like to welcome the Governor of the state of Iowa, Terry Branstad, his wife, Chris. Welcome to the state tournament, Governor. Glad to have you here.
The governor of the state of Iowa, Terry Branstad, joining us here. He's getting the ovation in front of this great crowd at Iowa state tournament time, this being the 69th edition of the girls state basketball tournament. Governor Terry Branstad and his wife, Chris. They got some pretty good seats up there. You must know somebody, huh?
Well, he was sitting right behind Chuck Schaffner. That's got to be one of the big seats in the house.
That'll do it.
Chuck Schaffner we saw on the telephone phoning in the results from the first half of play.
Associated Press Bureau chief. Yep, we must know Chuck. Inbounds to open the second half. It'll be Bree Briesco paired in the forward court, along with Shelley Johnson, Stephanie Thompson, Beth Flynn, and Leslie Maple to flesh out the starting five for Bettendorf. And much like the first half, couldn't get it to go down, Stephanie Thompson. Bulldogs are having a tough time from the field.
Got a change in the matchup on Brenda Freeze. We got Beth Flynn trying to chase her. What a height advantage.
And that's Brenda Freeze with her 15-point, first two of the second half, but back up to an 11-point lead. And here's Leslie Maple. Back in the air, Bree Briesco. Who gets her first two of the second half. She's got four in the game. We'll check that lineup for Cedar Rapids, Washington. Becky Stockman, Marcia Freeze, the guards, Brenda Freeze, Vera Gabran, and Sabrina Adkins along the forward line. Adkins working the post position. Baseline move for Brenda Freeze.
Expect to see the change back in the defensive alignment to Shelley Thompson trying to shadow Brenda Freeze. Flynn just can't handle her inside.
11 points, the margin here. Johnson. The yield to Flynn. Johnson again on the field that is, from Leslie Maple. Johnson has 8, her first two of the second half. 29-20. Full court pressure for both ball clubs. Right to left in front of us is Cedar Rapids, Washington, wearing the home whites, red and blue trim. Here are the Warriors out front with Strathman. Brenda Freeze triggers from 18 feet. She's 3 for 3 in the second half.
Well, that's 19 already. She's going for the tournament scoring record.
Now left to right in front of us, wearing the road blacks with golden white trim. Bulldogs from Bettendorf. That's Stephanie Thompson, and the rebound to Freeze. And the tie-up, Bree Briesco.
Possession, Washington.
Yep. And they'll go the other way. Marcia Freeze will yield his strength. And we're going to call Marcia Freeze the blonde because that's how.
That's what Altman calls
Yeah, that's what Coach Gary Altman calls her. He says, put the clamps on the blonde. You got her. meaning the blonder of the two sisters, Marcia Freeze and Brenda Freeze, out on the floor for the Warriors. That was Leslie Maple.
Shooting woes continue to bother Wettendorf.
Brenda Freeze, Strathman, now Marcia Freeze.
50 white, and that should be Sabrina Adkins' fourth foul.
Yep, it is. First foul of the second half. Sabrina Adkins has number 4. And she might have to check out. We shall see it here. Take a look at it.
Real quick release by Marcia Freeze outside. You see the double screen out? I saw a foul on a different black girl, on a different girl in the black uniforms, but
good move to the bucket, but she dragged the pivot along the way, Leslie Maple. And Erica Brown will bring it in right here. Becky Strathman to work against Maple.
Hasn't been many halves of basketball that Leslie Maple didn't score.
That's Marcia Freeze. She has 6. The blonde, right?
With the quick release on the shooting.
That's right.
She's got it again.
Comes up with it again on the turnover. Brenda Freeze.
She's just 1 point away now from taking the tournament leadership from Molly Tidebeck. Molly has 44 in the 2 tournament games. Brenda Freeze now with 43.
And 21 in this one. 35-20. Biggest lead of the second half for Cedar Rapids, Washington. Briasco answers. She has 6. Takeaway, Johnson. Shelley Johnson. Strathman will put the clamps on. Goes right by her. All the way. Johnson has 10, and Strathman with 3 personals. You can see why she let her get by. Brenda Freeze brings it down. And now Strathman on the point. Marcia Freeze. And the sophomore has 8. Shelley Johnson triggers, and the foul on the rebound will be whistled on Beth Flynn. 2 seconds.
Got it here. Boy, wasn't it awfully close to being a foul early, though. We'll talk about it when we get off of it. We have the foul on the outside girl on Flynn fouling. Awfully close to the 5th foul on Adkins, though, with what I really hurt the Washington call.
3 minutes, 8 seconds remain in the third. 37-24. The Warriors lead the Bulldogs. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back right after this message.
These aren't the hands of a mechanic. They're the hands of an artist. Hands that make the best chili in the country. Hands that shouldn't be spending too much time at something like this. That's why I make sure Super Lube XL is in every diesel I run. It has additives that fight the acids that make a diesel engine old before it's time. And it doesn't break down like other oils do. So it's Super Lube XL for all my diesels. A pickup, tractors, and the General here.
Get ready for more power. Magnum power. Magnum means more. More from totally new, bigger engines with 8% more displacement than the leading competitor. Delivering from 130 to 195 PTO horsepower. New engines, plus new cabs and a power shift transmission. All Magnum. Magnum tractors. Tractors that will do more for you.
Let's put an eyeball now on Brenda Freeze. She has 21 of 37 points for Washington.
And she can go either way with it. This time she takes the baseline drive, goes all the way to it. The time before, she rose up before she ever took her first dribble, making her doubly tough to defense, Mike Newell.
And a look at the Warrior cheerleaders. Got a lot to cheer about tonight. This team has capitalized on the turnover, gotten the outside shot, gotten the inside shot, and Bettendorf has come up cold, and this is the title game in 5-player basketball.
And I see at that timeout that Coach Paul James did take out Sabrina Adkins, has replaced her with 42, Gertie Bentley. Adkins was dangerously close to picking up her 5th foul and going after a block on that baseline shot for the last first down.
Strathman across the timeline. 4th trip to the state tournament for Cedar Rapids, Washington, and inside the lane, that's the blonde, right?
Yep.
That's Marcia Freeze with 10. And out front, Brenda Freeze.
Oh, that could be a big one.
Yep. Brenda Freeze will pick up her 3rd. Now Amy Owen will come in. And Brenda Freeze, as you see, she has her 3rd. But Owen will come in, and
now who's going to guard Brenda Freeze?
yeah,
Flynn had been trailing her the last 4 or 5 times down the floor.
another newcomer into the lineup, and it's Gertie Bentley. The takeaway, Bettendorf on the turnover. Here's Amy Owen. Briesco with the head fake. Coming up on the 2-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Here's Strathman. Marcia Freeze and Brenda Freeze.
Now she's the leading scorer in the tournament.
That's 23 for the evening. Leslie Maple. And on the floor, that's Briesco with Marcia Freeze.
And if I remember my arrows correct, the ball's going to be going the same direction, Washington possession.
And 1:51 remaining.
Did I say Washington? That was the first half, the same way
That's
as Bettendorf played.
Yeah, they do turn them around. Johnson inside the lane, and Marcia Freeze will get the foul here, and that's her 3rd. So one starter with 4 personals. Here's Brenda Freeze. Yep.
See, we saw the other half of it. The last replay, we showed her going down the base off the dribble to score. That time we saw her raise up. She's just like a thoroughbred out there on the floor. Arizona University's going to like her.
Up here in the booth, John Kelling has pointed out that all 16 points for the Warriors have been scored by one Freeze or the other, Brenda or Marcia. 16.
I better not say Derry. Derry Freeze.
It rattles out of bounds, and another foul apparently, and this is going to be Marcia. She is the 2nd starter for Washington with 4 personals. 2 others have 3.
And that's about the only part of the Washington game that hasn't been extremely well tonight. They are in some deep foul trouble now. The lead is 17, but since Marcia Freeze will go out or Brenda Freeze either go out, they've got some problems.
Cold as ice is Bettendorf. That's normally a sure shot for Leslie Maple, the All-State guard. Gertie Bentley puts it up once, twice, and Bentley gets on the board.
You saw a good second effort there after Steph Thompson cleanly blocked her first shot. There, Maple finally breaks the ice.
Maple scoreless in this basketball game. That's her first 2. She's averaging 14.6, number 2 scorer for Bettendorf. Now Trimpe to the left of your screen, wearing number 22 to come on for the Warriors. Beth Flynn wearing number 21 for the Bulldogs coming in. And the sophomore Marcia Freeze will take a break. Just a minute remains in the 3rd quarter.
We've got Shelly Johnson back on threes now. Just raise and shoot over.
To no avail with 25 now, Brenda Freeze, and she's at her season's average at 26.5. Number 2 scorer in the state, of course. Down in the hole and in heavy traffic is Stephanie Thompson. Brenda frees the rebound. Strathman loses the handle. Back up in the air, Flynn. And now Amy Owen. And nope, jump ball.
We got 2 straight blocks there by Brenda Freeze. I'm not sure how well Paul James likes that theory. She doesn't need a foul very bad. She does not need a foul at this point.
Inbounds, Bettendorf.
I think he may be going to visit with Brenda Freeze for just a second right now. Nope. Becky Strathman.
Becky Strathman will take a break, and Sonia Perry replaces her in the guard court for the Warriors of Washington. Can't get the layup to drop. Ice cold as Bettendorf. And that's the end of 3 quarters. Cedar Rapids, Washington leading Bettendorf into the 4th and final. Warriors 45, the Bulldogs 26. And we'll be back for the final quarter right after this.
You know, farming today takes some pretty careful planning. For seed selection, I like to work with the folks down at our local cooperative. Now that Land O'Lakes and Cenex are together, our co-op has a complete line of seed corn, soybeans, alfalfa, even grass seed. And they have the fertilizer and chemical expertise it takes to make my program work. Of course, it's still up to me to get those seeds in the ground right. No problem.
There's a new way
Great taste is coming.
to get all your sows
Great taste is
to
coming.
make more milk.
Great taste is here.
It's new Land O'Lakes Sow Maxi Milk. Even the thin sows or first litter gilts love Sow Maxi Milk.
Great taste.
So they eat their way into making more milk. Get new Sow Maxi Milk at your cooperative handling Land O'Lakes feed.
8 more minutes go up on the board, and then it'll be history. The 1988 5-girl, 5-player championship game. And with the upper hand by 19 points are the Warriors from Washington. From Cedar Rapids, Bulldogs from Bettendorf looking uphill at that kind of deficit, and stranger things have happened in state tournament action, Mark.
Well, they certainly have, and I think last year we were trying to declare North Scott as a state champion about this point of the game. You will remember Shelley Barden and the Western Dubuque Bobcats came back and got them.
And the winner tonight will replace the Western Dubuque Bobcats as state champions. The turnover to open the 4th quarter. We'll check the lineups here. Starting lineup is in for Bettendorf. We take a look from upstairs. Johnson triggers the baseline, and Gertie Bentley, the rebound. Scramble here, but the lineup as we move into the 4th. Leslie Maplewood, Beth Flynn, the guards for Bettendorf. Stephanie Thompson, the post. Chris Briesco, Shelley Johnson are the forwards. Washington will open in the guard court with Becky Strathman and Renelle Trimple, that is. I got it wrong the second time as well. That's Stephanie Thompson. Renelle Trimpe and Becky Strathman are the guards. Brenda Freeze on one wing. The other is Gertie Bentley. And up the middle will be Vera Gabron. Let's take a look at it from the upstairs angle, Mike.
Okay, we see Freeze coming with the ball. She's bothered. She comes off to Becky Strathman, caught by the knee of Chris Briesco.
Briesco gets her second.
I think that's the best I've said that in 2 days.
I've been practicing all night.
Uh-oh.
Yep, take a
One
look
of the
at
big
that.
reasons. Not much change. Washington now 57.9. The Bettendorf still shooting less than 30%. That helps it.
That's right. And a 3-pointer for Maple.
Well, just about as soon as we can say Briesco, we have another foul on it.
That's the 3rd for Chris.
Another look at Coach Gary Altman, the graduate of Central College, where he played football.
Washington out of the Mississippi Valley Conference. Took second place behind crosstown rival Jefferson. This is Maple on the breakaway. She has 7. And this is tightened up to a 13-point game after a 19-point lead, and that's Briesco. Apparently, yep, good indication it is.
That's 3 in about 14 seconds or so.
And the 4th of the ball game.
There we go. They're trying to catch her in the trap press. It's a little bit too aggressive. Beth Flynn had her covered to one side. Briesco came up a little too stout to put the trap on.
Susan Halpin will come on to replace Briesco. Erica Brand trying to track down the pass from Marcia Freeze.
We're going to have Renelle Trimpe back in real quickly.
And there's a timeout with 6:48 remaining in the basketball game. Washington leads Bettendorf. The Warriors 45 and the Bulldogs 32. We'll be back right after this timeout.
I guess compared to most, my business is pretty small potatoes. But there's nothing small about what I expect from my suppliers. When I need fertilizer and chemicals, I want what was promised, when and where it was promised. Which is why I'm happy that Cenex and Land O'Lakes are working together now. A supplier like that should be able to meet my demands. See, the co-op and I have always done business according to the law of supply and demand. I demand, they supply.
Did Dad let you till the garden with the new Case IH tractor? Mm-hmm. And did you get to cut the grass, too?
Yeah.
And grade the road? Mm-hmm. Really? And load the feed? Wow, you're so lucky. That new Case IH tractor can do anything. Hey, Marty, is there anything it can't do?
Yeah, float.
Case IH 200 series tractors. They're so versatile, they can do almost anything.
Those are the numbers. With 6:48 remaining, they're whooping it up on the sideline.
Yep, they're ready to try and declare a championship.
Looks like a good time from our vantage point. And here's Bettendorf. Johnson. Three-point range, you betcha.
That's what they're working on, 9 straight now after being down the biggest they were in the contest, 45-26 at quarter break.
Yeah, that 19-point deficit is now but a 10-point deficit. And we've got a basketball game on our hands in the final 6:10 of this one. Strathman serves it up to Marcia Freeze. Clearing the iron is Shelley Johnson. 3-point range again. My goodness.
Beth can do it. You can do it, Sally. So can I, Beth.
3 straight 3-point baskets for the Bulldogs. Now 9 points for Flynn.
And that's 12 in a row. 12 in a row for Bettendorf.
It's a 7-point basketball game.
We can do it too, can't we?
She says that'll show you. That was Brenda Freeze, a 3-pointer. She has 28.
Leslie Maple says, is it my turn? Sure it is. Won't quite fall.
2 can play this game, right, Mike?
Well, 4 so far have. We'll see.
He goes 4 for 4 and 3-pointers tonight. Brenda Freeze with Johnson on her.
Oh, nice move. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of body control to be able to put that down. Stop off the running jumper. Here comes the 5th.
Marcia Freeze with the steal, the left-handed dribble, the left-handed layup. And now 12 points for Marcia Freeze, and that 7-point deficit is back up to 14. Make that 12 with Leslie Maple answering, and the meter's running. Scoring pace picks up.
We're going to have a jump off the offensive rebound, and if I think it's, Washington ball. Uh-oh, big call.
That's Marcia Freeze, who will check out of the ball game with 5 personals. 4:39 remains. She leads with 12 points.
That's a play that's reminiscent of what I remember at Illinois State. Drake gave us the very same spot on the floor.
Erica Brown, a starter, is back into the lineup. And going to the line is Leslie Maple.
We just found the offensive part of her game in about the last 6 minutes or so.
Maple averaging 14.6, was shut out in the first half. She has 9 at this hour. Line violations. Is going to get another whack at it.
She's back on the 1-and-1 now. Run in. And officially, that score is just the same as a turnover for Washington. That was their ball. They gave it back to her to run.
She makes 1 of 2. It's an 11-point ball game at 52-41. And on the iron, that's Brenda Freeze. Strathman will carry it across the timeline. Second time in this ball game, she's worked that reverse dribble right down the pipe. Strathman, her first 2 of the second half, and she's got 8. Offensive foul. Beth Flynn, her third.
And as we talked early on the show, we're going to see Beth Flynn's alone. Gets right into our picture here. Takes the fake, tries to take the baseline. Great defensive positioning.
And more importantly, both teams move to the bonus with 4:15 remaining here in the fourth. 54-41 Washington. We'll be back right after this.
Running a tractor on ordinary diesel fuel is kind of like eating cafeteria chili. Just no spunk to it. But with Fieldmaster TQ4 diesel fuel, I get spunk to spare. Oh, I've run some other diesel fuels through my tractors, but I just don't get the power. Get a lot more smoke, though. Get a lot more work hours out of the tank of Fieldmaster TQ4, too. Quicker starts. Quicker warm-ups.
Well, after spreading away to a 19-point lead, Washington had that lead chiseled down to just 7 on a 12-point run by the Bettendorf Bulldogs. Those are the numbers in front of you for the final 4:15 in this one. We're looking for a replacement to Western Dubuque for the 5-player championship, and plenty more to come. Dyke and Southeast both squaring off for the 6-player championship. Let's take a look at the shot from way outside.
That was Beth Flynn, and that was in that run when we had 3 straight 3-pointers at either end. They were having fun shooting them, weren't they? And that's the toughest place to shoot it from. That one came from the baseline. No board behind that one.
Deep at the corner. And that wide angle gave you the right camera perspective from way outside. The ball left the picture and came back in again as it was going through the net.
That was going to be on Leslie Maple, but he could have been close to another foul on Brenda Freeze. We mentioned the 3 perimeter kids. The foul was on this. We mentioned the 3 perimeter kids. Brenda Freeze, Marcia Freeze, Becky Strathman. They're total 50 points. 50 of the 54 points would come from those 3 kids. That's the bread and butter kids for those ball teams.
How about Brenda Freeze with 31 points?
Well, then make that number 55, 51 if you want. Now 52 for the 3 of them.
32 now in the basketball game for Freeze. And it's back up to a 15-point lead for Washington. Bettendorf, which has been ice cold all night long, got warm in the early going of the 4th quarter. Late in the 3rd, early in the 4th, and Washington came right back. So that 15-point lead was chiseled down to 7. Now just inside the 4-minute mark. Trying to maintain that dribble is Strathman. The tie-up, the arrow's going this away to favor the Bettendorf Bulldogs.
It's going toward the state capitol.
That's right.
Right up into the Southeast Colts crowd.
Johnson, 3-point range. Briesco going to be short. Partially blocked, and clearing the iron is Brenda Freeze. Strathman. That's Adkins. And she's called for traveling. She tried to get rid of the basketball. I think she knew she was going down. And tried to deliver to the right side, but the whistle came ahead of time.
We're going to look at it. Here come off the board. Good scrambling by everybody on the board. She picks it up, falls down. I think she was trying not to throw a body block into Maple to get her fifth. Kept her balance and probably did a good job by traveling and not causing the contact and fouling out.
Vera Gabran picks up her second foul. And Chris Briesco, the Bettendorf Bulldog, shooting from the free throw line. 57% into this basketball game.
If that was a field goal in football, you'd have said high enough, is it good enough?
Well, it's long enough. Yep. Couple won't go down for Briesco, and that's Freeze with the rebound. And the foul on the far side in pursuit is whistled on Renell Trimpe.
Get down there. Get down there. Yeah. Don't go back there.
Good look at Paul James telling her not to go back and stand in the lane. Go meet the pass. Paul's a coach that really works hard at the game. He's a football assistant under Wally Steeds. Hard worker in camps, both in the state and nationwide. Really worked hard to learn the game of basketball.
Bonus now. Beth Flynn.
I don't know if she's going to come back and march with me on the floor in between games or not, but Beth Flynn is qualified to. She was on the state championship cross-country team in the fall. I know I'm going to be there. I know you're going to be watching it here up in the booth, Mike.
You betcha. Lots of between the game entertainment. Wasn't that a dandy halftime show? The energy of those kids out on the floor.
That's a fun group.
Great group. Lots between the games. A parade of champions coming up, and plenty more from Vex Auditorium in Illinois. Maple will get the foul here. It's her second.
Calling for the two set on the defense. That's Gary Altman. And the middle one in the screen. Head coach at Bettendorf.
Strathman. And it goes wide, and here comes Bettendorf. Whoop, gets by Briesco, and Strathman recovered. 3:10 remains in the basketball game. Johnson and Please playing some catch-up will pick up her fifth.
We're going to look at it. We come with the pass over. Good anticipation, finding the passing lane by Johnson. Takes the ball well to her left, trying to catch up. Brenda Freeze that follows her right over the shoulder.
Shelley Johnson at 66% from the free throw line. Won't get the second, and with 2:50.
Gonna get a trap. Nope.
Preventing, it's a 13-point margin, and Freeze draws a lot of attention, and there's your violation.
The Bettendorf people had counted to 14, but I tend to agree more with Art Hinker and Dan Connery. 10 was there.
Now, they're up to 14, but Paul Jones and the Warriors were up at about 8, I would suspect. Strathman.
Maple.
And Maple takes it away.
Whoops, got a collision.
Oh, it's going to be whistled on Briesco. Briesco tried to get in front of Vera Gabran.
I'm going to guess
and
the other way.
going to get the foul.
I'm going to guess the other way.
Briesco.
I think Gary Altman would have preferred the 2 points on the breakaway the way he's looking at it. Now you know why Mike Henderson has trouble pronouncing that name when you see those letters going across your screen.
I'm going with George Turner. He's the expert.
Yeah, but you don't work with him. You don't work with him every day, and I do.
I asked him for that precise pronunciation. 8 points now for Chris Gabriesco. 11-point game, still plenty of time left in this one. Not when you drop 3-pointers like that. Time seems to tick away.
I'll tell you something right now. She wants the single-game scoring record held by Molly Tideback at 39.
She has 35, including a couple 2-pointers here in the second half.
Get it up. Hold it, girl.
This is Adkins. And couldn't get the layup through. That was Freeze on the feed from Adkins. Freeze got him for the takeaway.
And gets it all the way. It's going to be their ball.
Hey, triangle, right there. Let's go.
You hear Paul Jones on the far sideline asking for the triangle.
Rennell, you said it.
Paul's been the quiet one or two until he really feels the state championship. Now he's getting animated. He's ready to take the trophy.
That's right.
And he's been the quiet. Oh, but good pull away.
So that's what the triangle's all about. It amounts for 2 points to go up on the board. For Becky Strathman, she has 10.
I don't care. You get as deep as the deepest player.
Yep. He's getting animated.
What? Let him finish it. 1, 3, 4, 5.
Gary can count. He knows it's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's naming the position that the substitute should go into the game.
You guys work that out. You guys, come here.
Newcomers coming on.
There's 5 of them coming in now, and you guys come here. Means you other 3 are going to get in for it.
The newcomers to come on for Gary Altman and the Bulldogs will be Lynette Hubbard, Connie Rio. Also on is Kelly Teal, Sue Mulder, and Molly Marks.
Boy, I know one of those names real well. Kelly Teal has been on 3 straight 3,200-meter relay teams at the state meet that have set state meet records every year. She's number 23.
1:34 remains.
You're going to go for Vera.
LeBron gets her first 2 points of the basketball game. Up to an 18-point lead again. And Bettendorf can't hang on up the floor. Newcomers on for Washington will be Lisa Parsons and Stacy Kane. Checking out is Rennell Trimpe. Also on for the Warriors, Denise DeVos. And that's Adkins.
And Becky.
She's got 4.
Tara, let's go. You're going in for Sabrina. Let's go.
How about that?
41, Molly Marks.
Molly Marks.
Point from Molly. Let's go. You report for
50 seconds remain.
you're in for the 4. You're in for the net. Teresa, May, you're in for
Go.
And from behind, the hand goes in the air. It'll be Stacy Kane. Plenty of basketball coming tonight as we have the 6th player championship. Pike and Southeast both will tee it up. Plenty of halftime and between the game activities, so don't go away. Stick with us. Best is yet to come. Into the lineup is Tara Sipe.
And we got some new people getting to play in a championship game. Elaine Lee also in for Washington. For Bettendorf, those last 3 off the bench as we predicted. May Scannell, Teresa Liedl, Lisa Hovey.
Let's go. go for Stacy and Denise. Right now, let's go. Stacy and Denise.
And now into the lineup. Now it's Teresa Liedl.
Now, she was waiting for the foul the last time. I had marked her in.
And Amy Person now checks in for the Warriors.
Looks like Ray Frakesher's in there, too.
Listen, I want the seniors to get the trophy.
We told them, man.
Seniors get the trophy.
Traveling is called. Connie Reel had a chance to get her name in the scoring column, but after she brought down the rebound, she was called for traveling. 20 seconds and counting. On the ball. Here's whistled here, Lisa Parsons, 5'5" sophomore. And I'll tell you, these Warriors, we're going to hear a lot about them in seasons to come. Just 2 seniors on this club, 7 juniors, 6 sophomores.
No upset, Mike Newell. Well, after watching every team in this field play 2 games, Washington was the best team. There were 2 unbeaten teams coming in. Very richly deserved state championship. The best perimeter play we've seen by any of our 5-player teams today.
65-47 is your final score, and the 5-player championship is claimed by Paul James and his Warriors from Cedar Rapids, Washington. And a lot of hooping and hollering downstairs on the floor. Come on, Paul, where's that smile? Huh?
Oh, he's going to smile. Subdued.
Washington is the winner, 23-3 with a number 3 state rating. Bettendorf at 20-4 and a number 9 state rating.
Of course, the preparation now might being made for the presentation.
Let's go down to the floor now for the presentation of awards.
Now let's go to the floor, the floor microphone, and Jim Duncan for the presentation of the all-tournament team.
The all-tournament team selected by the men and women of press and radio and television. From Bettendorf, Shelley Johnson. From Cedar Rapids, Washington, Becky Strathman. From Bettendorf, Leslie Maple. From Cedar Rapids, Washington, Brenda Fries. And the captain of the all-tournament team, for the first time ever, a 4-time nominee. She has been the captain of the all-tournament team 4 straight times. From Waterloo, Columbus, Molly Tideback.
Now for the presentation of the traditional red coat to a championship coach, we'd like Paul James of Cedar Rapids, Washington, to the center circle, please. And to make the presentation of the championship trophies, I'd like to introduce the president of the board of directors of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, also the superintendent of schools at Milford and Arnolds Park, Marv Anderson. My pleasure to present the runner-up trophy to the Bettendorf Bulldogs and Coach Gary Altman. This time we'd like to present the championship trophy to the Cedar Rapids Washington Warriors and Coach Paul James.
Score is 65-47, and the Warriors from Cedar Rapids, Washington, are champions in 5-player basketball. Paul, congratulations to you. You know, you looked awfully calm on the sidelines there.
Thank you very much. I was jumping inside, I can guarantee you that.
Tell us about the victory tonight. What did you have to do to get by these Bettendorf Bulldogs?
We had to play real aggressive, play pretty good defense. I was real happy with that first half defense, and we went out, second half, we told them we had to score, be aggressive, and we had a nice 20-point third quarter, and that was a big difference right there.
And I know a particular concern to you is the fact that you're losing only 2 seniors. The cupboard's not fair. You got a lot of talent coming back. I got a hunch we're going to see the Warriors again.
Well, we certainly hope so, but it's awful difficult to repeat, as some teams have found out. These are 2 awfully fine seniors that we're losing, and what a great way for those people to go out.
You had a couple on the floor today, the Freeze sisters. How about Brenda's performance tonight? You've seen a lot of great performance. This has to be one of the better ones, though.
It's very typical. I don't know how many points she had, but it was extremely typical. When it's up to her, she comes through in the clutch.
You beat 2 great basketball teams in the 1988 Girls State Basketball Tournament. Yesterday, Waterloo Columbus. This time around, you had to beat the Bettendorf Bulldogs. Which was the tougher of the 2?
Oh, that's really hard to say. It's there was a lot of pressure on us tonight, you know, in a way. Yesterday, playing Molly Tybeck and the crew, I don't know. It's just hard to say.
Now, we've got the Warriors dancing in the streets in Cedar Rapids tonight. Do you have anything to say to your many loyal fans over there?
Well, we really appreciate them coming out, and this is our first ever Girls State Basketball Championship, and we're very proud of it and proud of their support.
Paul, congratulations to you. A great basketball season. A lot of hard work pays off for you and the Warriors.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations to those Warriors from Cedar Rapids, Washington, who claimed the 1988 5-player championship. You see them behind us, and maybe we'll get a chance to talk with Brenda Freeze, who had the hot hand tonight for the Warriors in their championship effort. Brenda, congratulations to you. One whale of a performance.
Thanks a lot. We were really pumped up for this game, and we've wanted this for a long time, and finally came true. Our dreams came true.
Talk about pumping it up. You pumped them up from way outside, bringing down 35 points, including a couple 3-pointers.
Yeah, I wanted to end my season the best way I could. I knew this was my last game, and I really wanted this for the school. I wanted it for everyone, and I'm just glad things worked out the way it was. Everything was just on tonight.
Brenda, great performance, and best to you.
Thanks a lot.
Brenda Freeze of the Cedar Rapids, Washington Warriors, and congratulations to the Warriors. They're the 5-player champions. We've got plenty of activity coming your way. Live from Betts Auditorium, the Parade of Champions is next. Don't go away, because we got 6-player basketball as well. Dyke and Southeast Polk is coming up next. For the second straight year, Waterloo Columbus and Des Moines Lincoln meet for the Consolation Championship. And for the second straight year, Waterloo Columbus comes away the winner. The final score, 41-37 this afternoon. For Lincoln High School, it is a 4th-place trophy. Jerry Shartner and the Rail Splitters wrapping it up at 23-2. For Mel Cooper-Schmidt and the Sailors from Waterloo Columbus, a 3rd-place trophy, the Consolation Championship, wrapping it up at 23-1. It's on to the Consolation Championship, 6-player basketball. The winner this afternoon was Jefferson Scranton by a margin of 59-43 over Buffalo Center, ranked Lakota. A 4th-place trophy for Tom Smith and the Lady Bison, who make their first tournament appearance and go home with a 21-4 record, a 4th-place finish. Jefferson Scranton goes home with the 3rd-place trophy under the direction of Keith Vanderwilt. The Jeffettes wrap up the season at 26-2. And we'll be right back with a close-up look at the Iowa Girls Parade of Champions in just a moment.
When I go to work, the only thing open around these parts are my eyes. That's why the boys down at the co-op gave me a key to the gas pumps. Well, sort of. Actually, they're card activated. So when I do need fuel at some ungodly hour, all I do is pull into the pump, run my card through a reader, punch in my number, and bingo, I'm pumping gas or diesel. Yep, you got to get up early in the morning to get ahead of this old boy, especially if you're a bass.
When using farm chemicals and fertilizers this season, a little effort will go a long way to protect the water our families drink every day and save you money besides. Calibrate your equipment. Use the right chemicals and fertilizers in the proper amounts for your soil types. Unnecessary applications in excessive amounts waste money, and it can mean polluted groundwater. Make the smart move this year. Play it safe with the water we drink.
When sectional tournaments got underway, 378 6-player teams and 78 5-player teams were after the state championships. But tonight only 4 remained. The 20 teams' overall record was 400 wins against 62 losses. Now let's meet the rest of the tournament field. Their road to state was not easy, having to defeat 2 highly regarded teams, including the defending champion, and their come-from-behind play made them the Cinderella team of the tournament. They returned 2 of their starting forwards and could be back next season, co-champions of the North Iowa Conference, Coach Tom Smith and the Buffalo Center raked Lakota Lady Bison. They defeated their conference champion to make the tournament field and won a first-round game before losing. Their veteran coach has had 3 teams in the Final 16. From the Northeast Iowa Conference, Coach Jerry Newton and the Charles City Comets. Rated second all season long, they completed the pre-state tournament schedule undefeated, then lost an overtime thriller in the semifinals. The highest scoring team in the tournament, they'll return 1 starter for next season from the Des Moines Metro Conference, Coach Jerry Shartner and the Des Moines Lincoln Rail Splitters. They've appeared in 6 of the last 7 tournaments, and their coach retires this year. Southeast 7 Conference champions, they closed their season with an 18-game winning streak. Please welcome a man who won over 85% of his games in 16 seasons, Coach Dan Breen and the Fairfield Trojanettes. One of only 4 unbeaten teams in the tournament field, they were 6th rated and in their 5th appearance at state. They were Upper Mississippi Conference champions, and the school won championships in 1953 and 54. Welcome in his 3rd trip to state, Coach Dick Bangs and the Garnavillo Hawks. A young, talented team, they finished 3rd in their conference and feature one of the fine all-around players in the state. Their coach led his team to the state championship at Ventura last season, and this group will be a top contender next year. From the North Iowa Cedar League, Coach Chuck Bredlow and the Grundy Center Lady Spartans. They were Sioux Valley Conference co-champions and making their 4th trip to state. Only 2 seniors from the starting lineup graduate, and the fine program returns many players. Welcome from Northwest Iowa with a record of 21 wins, 4 losses, Coach Mark Butt and the Hartley Melvin Hawkettes. The highest scoring team in the tournament field, they'll return their leading scorer and many others. They were North Central Conference champions, and they and their coach made their first trip to state, and they beat the state's #2 ranked team to make the tournament field. Welcome Coach Randy Krecklow and the Humboldt Wildcats. They featured the state's 3rd highest scorer and had lost but once prior to the state meet. In the top 5 in state scoring average, the team won twice before bowing in a tough semifinal battle. Midwest Conference champions, Coach Keith Vanderwilt and the Jefferson Scranton Jeffettes. One of 2 independent schools in the tournament field, they played their regular season in always tough Northwest Iowa with many girls basketball powers on the schedule. They were making their 2nd trip to state, but the 1st since 1952. Welcome in her 1st year of coaching, Nancy Landice and the Little Rock Rockettes. An unbeaten team coming into the tournament, they won a 1st-round game before losing a 3-pointer in the 2nd round. 3 of 6 starters return, including 2 of the forwards. Bluegrass Conference champions, they've been to state 3 straight years. Co-coaches Dan Brooks and Phil Harrington and the Moravia Mohawkettes. This is the veteran school in the field with 9 appearances at state, but the 1st for the veteran coach. The entire forward court returns, and the squad graduates only 2 seniors. They should be a contender next season. From the Midwest Conference, Coach Mike Long and the Perry Blue Jays. The runner-up in the Western Iowa Conference, 2 of their losses were to another member of the tournament field. It was their 1st trip to state, and their coach had played on a state championship team at Manila in 1970. Welcome from Southwest Iowa, Coach Gail Hartigan and the trainer Cardettes. Western Iowa Conference champions, it was their 4th consecutive trip to state. A high-scoring team, they featured the top individual scorer in the state, and Shool returned. The team had won 24 in a row before their 1st-round loss, and as a team, they hit over 63% of their field goal attempts. Coach T. Gary White and the Tri-Center Trojanettes. Rated #1 in Iowa all year long and as high as 3rd in the nation in the USA Today poll, they lost a heartbreaker in the semifinals. Led by All-American Molly Tideback, they've been a fixture in the tournament field for the past 4 years. Playing an independent schedule, welcome Coach veteran Coach Mel Cooper-Schmidt and the Waterloo Columbus Sailors. 5 times they've been to state, all under their veteran coach. They finished 3rd in their conference and played many larger schools on their tough schedule. Graduating only 1 senior from the first 6, they'll be tough next year. From the Raccoon River Conference, Coach Paul Bullock and the Waukee Warriorettes. Well, in the year since our last parade, 2,369 teams have competed for 28 individual, team, and co-ed championships in Iowa. It's the largest program for girls and co-ed teams in the United States. Now let's meet the current title holders. After a close call in 1986, this team nearly doubled the runner-up's point total and won their third consecutive championship. Since the merger of the two schools, they've won 15 events at state and 9 conference titles. They'll be a favorite this spring. Our 1A track champions, Coach Al Pierce and the Lorenz Marathon Chargers. They were number 1 rated all fall, but the pressure didn't bother them, and they won their first championship using great team depth. Although not winning an event at state, they concluded an unbeaten dual meet season with a state championship. From the Big 8 Conference, the swimming champions, Coach Steve Hugo and the Mason City Mohawks. Since 1980, this team has won 5 state championships and finished as a runner-up the other years. They concluded the 1987 season with a win over the defending champion. They've only lost 16 times in 14 years. From Iowa's East Coast, the gymnastics champions, Coach June Christensen Wilden and the Clinton River Queens. This unbeaten team returns 24 letter winners from a squad of over 100. 13 girls scored points at the state meet, and they won 2 relays and scored in 4 other events. The team is also a recipient of the Excellence in Academic Achievement Award. From the Metro Conference, the 3A track champions, Coach Jim Dewey and the Ames High Little Cyclones. It took extra innings, but they scored 9 runs in the overtime inning to win their first championship 10-1. The season included a record of 51 wins, 6 losses, 25 shutouts, and they beat the number 3 team to advance to state. From Eastern Iowa, the softball champions, Coach Dennis Johnson and the North Scott Lancers. 5 straight appearances at state have resulted in 3 championships, 2 runner-up trophies, and 4 of the years, 1 team member has been either the 1A or the Iowa Player of the Year. Stressing team play, they won 37 while losing but 2 with many matches against 2A schools. From the North Iowa Cedar League, Coach Barbara Baker and the 1A volleyball champions, the Dyke Bobcats. They ended the year with an 81-game winning streak and became only the 2nd team and the only school to win 2 titles in a row. They were ranked 13th in the nation and were led by a 2-team Iowa Player of the Year, Janine Gremmel, also a first-team All-American. The 2A volleyball champions, Coach Tom Keating and the Dubuque Wahlert Golden Eagles. This team has won 3 straight track titles, 2 outdoor and 1 indoor, and returned 5 letter winners, including a 2-time state champion. Ranked either number 1 or 2 all spring, they didn't disappoint anyone at state. From the Big Bend Conference, the 2A track champions, Coach Janie Montgomery and the Comanche Indians. 2 championships and a runner-up are the results of the past 3 years, and 6 letter winners return, including 3 state meet participants. They were unbeaten in Iowa competition and were also Siouxland Conference champions. And this fall, they'll be one of the favorites. From Northwest Iowa, the 1A cross-country champions, Coach Don Harding and the Morris Orange City Duchettes. Well, the well-established program at this school has paid off with the 3 straight track titles, and today they made it 4 in a row with another indoor crown. 7 letter winners returned, and again from Eastern Iowa, the indoor track champions, Coach Jenny Montgomery and the Comanche Indians. Well, it was a narrow victory, but it gave them a championship, their first since 1984 in the sport. 4 letter winners returned for the fall. The very successful program won the conference and district crowns, and then the gratifying win at state. From the Mississippi Athletic Conference, Coach Gary Roberson and the 3A cross-country champions, the Bettendorf Bulldogs. A win over the defending champions got them to state, and then they defeated the returning runner-up team for the title. Unbeaten for the year, they have a record of 33 straight meets without a loss. From the Mississippi Valley Conference, the teen tennis champions, Coach Peggy Garrett and the Washington of Cedar Rapids Warriors. Following a fifth-place finish, the same 5 girls returned to claim their 4th state championship in 5 years. With 39 consecutive dual and double dual meet wins, they've won their conference crown all 4 years, and all 5 girls won all conference honors. The tradition continues as we meet the 3A golf champions, Coach Steve Cassidy and the Ottumwa Bulldogs. 22 straight years they've had winning seasons and won their 2nd state title in 3 years. They've lost only 2 meets in 6 years and won conference, sectional, and district titles along with 2 individual crowns. The 2A golf champions from the North Central Conference, Coach Marvin Burr and the Humboldt Wildcats. Trailing by 5 strokes after the first day's play, this team came back on the second day and won by 11. They returned 3 of the top 5 players and could be a repeat winner. From the Sioux Valley Conference in Northwest Iowa, the 1A golf champions, Coach Richard Hoops and the Sanborn Bulldogs. With their 4th title in 5 years, they had to beat the #1 ranked team at state to win. This fine program includes 2-letter winners and also were recipient of the Academic All-State Award. Big Bend Conference members, they're the 2A cross-country champions, Coach Bob David Schofer and the Cascade Cougars. Twice as a team, they've won the championship. 3 times each has been on the winning pair, and 4 straight times the school has won the championship, an enviable record. Both are playing college tennis and unable to attend tonight, and they'll be represented by Wendy Kerpicka and Tim Ratora. From the Mississippi Valley Conference, Coach Eric Crawford and the co-ed tennis champions from Dubuque Senior, Lori Hash and Pete Moldenauer. Once in a while, an unseeded team wins a match in tennis, but this pair was devastating in their sweep to a state title. In 4 matches at state, they beat the #3, #2, and #1 ranked teams. They had lost but once during the season, and they avenged that in the first round at state. From Burlington of the Mississippi Athletic Conference, Coach Pete Moore and the tennis doubles champions, Anna Lazenby and Amy Laree. Their 2nd consecutive crown was won the same as the first in a playoff, but the team bettered their previous score by 5 strokes. The girl half of the team returns this summer for a try at 3 straight. From Central DeWitt, Coach Marcia Eubank and the co-ed golf champions, Heather Deek and Dave Reuter. And Heather is also the golf medalist for the 2nd consecutive year. She won the crown with a 2-stroke victory and could become only the 3rd player in history to win 3 or more medalist titles and the 1st since 1965. Once again from Central DeWitt, the golf medalist, Heather Deek. The difference between 1st and 2nd came down to the final event of gymnastics, and this young lady edged a former teammate by 5/100ths of a point to claim the crown. Along with her state championship, she also holds all school records in all events, and today she won her 2nd consecutive title. From the Mississippi Athletic Conference, Coach Jill Schlott and the gymnastics all-around champion from Iowa City City High, Danny Barr. She culminated an unbeaten season with a straight set victory over the defending champion. She does have another year of eligibility, but will graduate early and not defend her title. Again from the Mississippi Valley Conference in Cedar Rapids, Washington, represented by Amy Heck, Coach Peggy Garrett and the tennis singles champion, Holly Harris. One of the truly outstanding all-around athletes is this young lady from Northwest Iowa. Outstanding in the distance races, she has won a number of races in both cross-country and track, including the outdoor 1500, and is also the school's leading basketball scorer. From the Siouxland Conference, Coach Steve Halligan and the 1A cross-country champion from West Sioux, Kathy Halligan. She was unbeaten at the 2-mile distance and won 10 straight races. Then captured the state championship by beating the 1A and 2A champions from the previous year. From the Des Moines River Conference, Eddyville coach Dave Whitver and the 2A cross-country champion, Holly Barnes. Just a junior, she's a 2-time cross-country titleist and was runner-up the other time. She's a 2-time champion in the outdoor 1500 and 3000 and Drake Relay's 800-meter champion, and has also found time to be a 2-year starter in basketball. And she's the all-time Iowa leader in the 3000. From the Metro Conference and Valley of West Des Moines, Coach Bob Harden and the 3A cross-country champion, Krista Holmes. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 1986-87 Iowa girls and co-ed champions. For years, the sports editor of the Evening Tribune and selector of the All-State Tournament teams was Jack North. In his honor, trophies are given to the senior who received the most votes for the all-tournament teams in the sports closest to Jack's heart. The winner in softball from Esterville, Brenda Bixby. The winner in 5-player basketball from North Scott, Tracy Graham. And the winner in 6-player basketball from Ventura, Lynn Lorenzen. We'd like to ask that the current champions and the Jack North Award winners please do an about face so they may be recognized by the other side of our house. We thank you.
You know, farming today takes some pretty careful planning. For seed selection, I like to work with the folks down at our local cooperative. Now that Land O'Lakes and Cenex are together, our co-op has a complete line of seed corn, soybeans, alfalfa, even grass seed. And they have the fertilizer and chemical expertise it takes to make my program work. Of course, it's still up to me to get those seeds in the ground right. No problem.
Get ready for more comfort. Magnum Comfort. Magnum means more. With better visibility in an all-new cab, with more window area than the leading competitor. See 17% more. Feel 100% better. New cabs, plus new engines and power shift transmissions. All new, all Magnum. Magnum tractors. Tractors that will do more for you.
Lots more to come from Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Des Moines, the 1988 Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. And we'll be right back with the Tri-Center Spectacular right after these messages from your local station.
Selecting a corn hybrid is somewhat like buying a pickup. You look for a good buy for the money. A truck that's good looking, stands up under stress, and gives you good, dependable performance. NC Plus 4131 and 4505, like the pickup you select, are good choices for many of the same reasons. They're competitively priced, they're attractive plants that stand up well, show good tolerance to stress, and give you top dependable performance. Reasons why NC Plus hybrids are among today's best buys.
It could have been you. We could have won too. We played for the fight. Together we won. We were in the mood. You're the one I lean on. Can change all your lives. It could have been you. Now we're playing to make it be you.
We're about to do something nobody's ever done before. Guarantee our products and theirs. And it all starts with a call to this number for all the facts about how we'll take your toughest soybean weed and grass problems, recommend a control program, probably using a little of both, and guarantee it'll work. No carryover, no stunning, or your respray chemicals free. What have you got to lose? Even the phone call's free. So call, because if you're looking for a catch, there isn't one.
Star Trek: The Next Generation, tonight at 10:30 on TV9.
The 1988 Iowa Girls Basketball Tournament Championship Finals are being brought to you by Cenex Land O'Lakes. There's a feeling of pride working side by side. That's how the spirit shows. Cenex Land O'Lakes Ag Services, our 29th year of sponsorship. By Case IH and your Case IH dealer. By the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, asking for your support in protecting Iowa's groundwater supply. From Southwest Iowa, making their 11th consecutive appearance, the Tri-Center Golden Girls. Tonight's show begins in the Orient.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Tri-Center Golden Girls are pleased to present Continental Cruising, a trip around the world beginning in China.
Now we go to ancient Africa and a cruise down the Nile with Cleopatra.
walk like an Egyptian.
Mesdames et messieurs, from the continent of Europe, from France, une nouvelle présentation du Can-Can.
Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down.
Watch me wallabies feed, mate. Watch me wallabies feed. They're a dangerous breed, mate. So watch me wallabies feed. All together now.
Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down.
Take me koala back, Jack. Take me koala back. He lives somewhere out on the track, Mac. So take me koala back. All together now.
Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Continental Cruisin' returns us to North America and the good old USA.
put for us to the Gulf Stream waters. This line was made for you and me. I'm a Yankee Doodle. Sandy, Yankee Doodle, do or die.
For freedom and live for liberty.
A real live nephew of mine.
Uncle Sam, he wants you. Let's all cheer in white and blue.
Born on the
1, 2, 3, 4.
4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart.
Who is she?
Who is she? The statue of Miss Liberty. She's my Yankee Doodle George. I am.
You are.
The Yankee Doodle Boy.